Okay, we're going to check today's daily math. The first one asks you which model shows that the fractions 8/10 is equivalent to 4/5. So remember, equivalent fractions mean that they take up an equal amount of space. So our wholes have to be the same, and then we're going to be looking for the same amount shaded. And if I look at my model, all of those are equivalent fractions, but I'm looking for the ones that show 8/10 and 4/5. So if I look at this first one, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces shaded. And there's 9, 10 pieces in the hole. So that shows 8/10. Then if I look at the second one, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces shaded. My numerator or top number is 4. And there are 5 pieces in the hole. So that shows 8/10 and 4/5, and we can see that they are equal or equivalent. Option 1 is your correct answer. Looking at the second one, wants to know which model correctly represents the problem. 4/5 plus 4/5 equals 8/5, which is equal to or equivalent to 1 3/5. So let's check option 1 here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces shaded here, and we can tell that there's 5 in the hole. So if I look, I'm going to add another 4/5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've added, here's 4/5 right here. And then I'm going to switch colors so you can see it better. Here's another 1, 2, 3, 4/5. So we can see by that 4/5 plus 4/5 has been shaded. So let's look and see if that's 8/5. I'm going to take away what I colored here, switch back to blue. It's a little darker and easier to see. So let's count and see how many pieces are shaded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces shaded. In one hole, there are 5 pieces, so that is correct. And I will need to look and see if my mixed number is correct. I can see I have 1 hole shaded, so that 1 is correct. And on the second one, I have 1, 2, 3 of the 5 pieces shaded. So option 1 is the correct answer. All right, number 3, we have an area model. 25 times A equals 1,325. And they've got part of the area model filled in for us, but there's some parts that we're not sure about. So we've got to find what the variable A, the variable B, and the variable C equal. All right, so in the problem it tells us 25 times A. Well, to get 25, I know that the 20 would have to be equal to B, so that I have 25 on my short side. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that B is equal to 20.
The cactus has a writing box.
So now I can fill in the rest of my area model. We can also see that A, if the two numbers I'm multiplying are 25, then I'm going to have to look at my longer side to see the length, 50 plus 3. So we know A will be equal to 53. So now all that's left is for me to find variable C. So if I look here in this largest space, I can see they multiplied 20 times 50 to get 1,000. Here they multiplied 20 times 3 to get 60. Did 50 times 5 to get 150. Then for C, we still have to multiply 5 times 3. And 5 times 3 equals 15. So C is equal to 15. Okay. Next, we're using the associative property to solve. This equal sign right here tells me that I have to have the same amount on both sides. So 2 times 5 times 6 is equal to or the same as 2 times A times 6. I'm looking to see what's missing. We're using the associative property, which means that I can group whatever I want to together. All right, and the parentheses are telling us that's what you're going to multiply together first. And the associative property tells us that it doesn't matter what I multiply together first or which order I multiply, that I'm still going to get the same answer. So if I look to see what's missing, I have 2 times 5. I don't have a 5 on this side. Times 6, and I do have the 6. So I know that A is going to be equal to 5. And if I go on down to the second line, I need to multiply 5 times 6 together to get the value for B. And 5 times 6 is 30. So B is equal to 30. To find the value of C, I'm going to multiply what's in parentheses, which is 2 times 5. So the value of C is 10. And then to find D, I need to figure out the answer to that problem. So 2 times 30 equals 60. And if I do 10 times 6, that equals 60 as well. So I know that my equation is equal or equivalent and that D is equal to 60. Number 5 says to select the diagram and answer that matches the problem. A cafe sold 6 times as many sandwiches as they sold salads. If they sold 8 salads, how many sandwiches did they sell? Well, I know that they sold 8 salads and they sold 6 times as many sandwiches as they sold salads. So I'm looking for the one that shows, the model that shows that they sold 8 salads and 6 times as many sandwiches. All right. So if I look at this first option, that shows that they sold 6 times 8 salads and only 8 sandwiches. So I know that one's going to be incorrect. So if I look at option 2, it shows that they sold 8 salads. So that part's correct. And we need to see if they did 6 times 8 for the sandwiches. So here's 1 8, 2 times 8, 3 times 8, 4 times 8, 5 times 8, 6 times 8, 7 times 8, 8 times 8. That's not what we want because it says 6 times as many sandwiches. So that's not a correct model. If I look at option 3, option 3 says they sold 12 salads and 4 times as many sandwiches. We know that's not correct based on the information in the problem. If I look to option 4 says they sold 8 salads, and we're looking to see if there's 6 times as many. 8 times 1, 8 times 2, 8 times 3, 8 times 4, 8 times 5, 8 times 6. The correct answer is option 4. They sold 48 sandwiches.